rating?
As I've raised it in for probably the last 5, 6 plus years, I guess. And that's with respect to the salaries and wages for the mayor and the committee. When we compare these to peer townships, first of all, I know that there's a 3% increase this year, but I think in recent years we've kept that flat. But when we compare that to peer townships, based on the salary ordinances, for example, that Readington passed versus Raritan, the mayor's salary in Readington is 22% higher than that in Raritan. The question I would pose to the township committee is, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, so why wouldn't we just hire people at a 22% premium relative to other townships when we make a hire? I think that's what we're setting up here.
Just as one comment, you know that since you and I on this committee, we kept our salaries flat, to the best of my memory, and we have not passed our salary ordinance this year yet. This is just a budget. If you don't have to spend, and I'll say as I always do, I think a salary of $1.
Some of the departments for many years, and of course we know how prices go up. So we had some requests. We've had them other years, but this year we did address a few of them. And one of them was for Public Works. We increased them by about $26,000, and that was just to address additional costs for maintenance of equipment and materials. The police, we increased by about $45,000, and that we were hit with some of our officers continuing their education, which we've always had in their contract, but now we have some of the younger officers are really pursuing higher degrees, which is we're very happy about, but it has hit our budget a little bit. Also, our vehicle repairs and our outfitting with the electronics, it's required us to send some of our vehicles out a little more often than we used to have the mechanics in-house, which they're still doing a lot, but the outfitting we've been sending out. It's a little more sophisticated than some of the equipment we have. Emergency services, excuse me, asked for a little extra money for, they have a CERT team, and there's just lots of shirts and those type of things, so they asked for a little bit of an increase. I think that's been it, right? Environmental Commission asked for a little bit more money. We've put in $30,000, I think it was last year, right?
30.
Or the year before?
2 years.
2 years ago. And now they're through that fund to address the Emerald Ash Borer, which has been a problem within the municipality. And they did an inventory of the trees, and they addressed and treated, I think about 50 trees, if I'm correct. I don't know if you remember. I think it was about 50 trees.
86.
Oh,
86.
Oh, wow. I was way off, wasn't it? 86? Where did I get 50?
You were close.
I was close. That must have been the first round. But we're through the $30,000, and so they have asked to continue the program, and the committee did approve that. And the sewer fee for our residents. Our expenses probably have increased by about $100,000. Now we're trying to increase our some of the things that we're doing. The system is 37 years old. This past year we had a problem. We had to, or it was probably into this year when we wound up doing it. We had to purchase 2 grinders for our sewer plants, for some of our sewer pumps for about 40, correct me if I'm wrong, at the sewer station. About $40,000 each. Also, we would like to do a digital map of our system. We did an I&I study this year. We did some smoke testing. We did increase the fee by $20 per user, and that generated about $60,000 extra in that budget. We also do take some money that you would see if you looked at our budget. We took about $125,000 to cover the salaries of the 4 employees that we pay for sewer, to be trained as sewer operators. And also we pay our engineer to do some sewer work and sewer studies or whatever. And so we put in a little extra money that comes back into the operating budget. The open space generates about $520,000, and again, you can see that in the back of our budget, there's a separate budget for that. We do apply some of that, or most of it, to debt service. We also added a line item this year for trail maintenance. We were requested by our Environmental Commission Open Space Committee. We were asked to put aside some money so that we can work on our trail, on clearing of our trails, and have a steady maintenance program.
Now our taxes are $22.88 per household for the municipal appropriations, but again, debt service is 26% of our appropriations, and that is almost $600 per household going to debt service.
There's a, Denise, before you leave, there are 2 ways that municipalities can fund large purchases. They can raise tax revenue to fund it, or they can bond for it. Readington chooses to bond for it because we feel that anything that's going to last for over 5 years should be shared and not taxed to the individuals that are living in the town in the particular year. So, for example, we are going to be within the next year or so splitting a new tower ladder truck for Readington Fire with Branchburg because they serve both municipalities. And our cost is going to be around $500,000. It's clearly not something we want to throw into the budget in a tax year. So instead, we bond for it so that the cost is spread out over a larger number of years. So it's one way, it's a sort of philosophy of spending, among other things, whether you try to tax higher, raise it and pay it at the moment, or you graduate it over a period of time so that the tax rate...
You're amortizing an expense over a future period.
So it's kind of our philosophy too.
Yeah.
It's like a mortgage.
Yeah, no, I